60, 70 years prior. So this is the actual distribution, and you can see the 2 standard deviation in green and the 3 in red. And I will say, for the Gaussian distribution, there is approximately 4.55% of the data outside the 2 standard deviations. Now, I've looked at this right here, and if you just want to make that claim, what is outside the 2 standard deviation, theoretically it's 4.55, and I will tell you that this information here, it's close to 4.9, 4.88 I think is what it is, which is pretty damn close. Now where it starts to get sideways is beyond 3 standard deviations, and if you looked at 4 or 5, then it really looked bad. But up to 2 standard deviations, at 95.45% of the data inside, the reality is pretty damn close. Now you can't see what's in the tails here, so let's just have a peek, and we'll take a look. We'll zoom right in, and you'll see it here. So now you can see there is a lot of data outside in the fat tails. So the suggestion is this is where a lot of the returns come from. By the way, where do the other returns come from that don't line up with the random walk theory? And it's the following. Random walk suggests that future price movements are independent of past movements. So that's a statement made by this fella right here, and believed, I would say, mostly by the Samuelsons and the like. And who wants to go up against a sea of Nobel Prize winners? Well, you can, but it's going to be a very boring dance, because they always have their get out of jail free card where if an outcome doesn't match what they want, they simply claim that then it must be that all the information wasn't properly disseminated yet, or there was a lot of speculation going in the right direction, or something like that. It's just these get out of jail free cards, these unfalsifiable situations. So it's just a boring dance and not worth your time. But zooming in, you can tell we've got a lot of data outside of 3 standard deviations. So that led me to thinking, how does my S&P trading model fare with respect to capturing these outsized returns? And drum roll please, I know, but understand I had no intentions of ever making a trading model that does that. Nothing direct. So this is why it was made interesting to me, because there was nothing I did directly, and I know that the 2 largest areas of profitability are being on the right side of a large move, and also the fact that it is provable that returns are in fact serially correlated. So they are not independent. Now I would say my model leans a little bit on that one for sure. And that will actually explain some of what you're about to see. So without any further ado, let's take a peek. So what you're looking at here now is this data right here that you're looking at in this window is the same approximately, I doubt I told you, approximately 23 years of S&P daily log returns. So this is the same data spread across time, day to day. And what we did here, or what I did here, is I had my model, again, already built. This is looking back. I'm not going to change anything on my model, but this is looking back. And I posed the question, when I was in a trade, either long or short, did that trade benefit for moves 2 standard deviations or greater? So the green dots and the red dots mostly tell the tale. So the green dots are where I happen to be in the trade the right way and I captured that move. And the red dots are the moves that I would say I was in going the wrong way, but there's an asterisk around that. So first of all, let's take a look here. There were moves that the model was just in cash. So I forget exactly how many days this is, 5,700 plus or something like that. And the total moves that were counted here were 181. Well, there was a further almost 100 moves that were large size moves that I was sitting in cash. So I was neither helped or hindered by that move. So if you take roughly 280, divide that by the 5,700 and change is where you'll get that very close to 4.5 to 4.9 of the data. So very accurate if you're saying everything two standard deviations or greater. Very accurate with respect to the Gaussian bell curve. But 100 roughly of those, I was in cash. So we just, no help, no hindrance. So of the 181 remaining, we correctly captured 94, and we were on the wrong side of the trade 87 times. So slightly better than 50%. But here's the caveat. Wait, before I tell you that, take a look at the downside. So this is when we were short, obviously. It seems that my model on this view does a seriously good job at capturing these large moves because it's nothing but a sea of green dots. But now let's flip this kind of upside down for a minute and take a look at this. At the same time, it seems we are doing a very bad job, the model, at also getting tagged with these outside upward moves, which means, and it might seem counterintuitive, which means these moves right here, we were in it the wrong way, so we were short. Now, that seems like it's very bad, but here is the thing that you aren't aware of. So, although this is interesting, we captured a 50%, 52%, roughly half. These things unnecessarily drag down our percentage because the whole purpose of my particular model really presupposed that this is going to happen. And the reason why is we will ride trades that we're winning. So you can see that it's more accurately reflected on short trades than it is the long trades. But we will ride these winners until the day where you get an outside up move. And everyone that has been in the market more than about a week, but I shouldn't say that because if you were only ever in the market for the last year, I don't think you've ever seen a downside move. But you get what I'm saying. We ride these things until we hit a drastic move up when we have been short, obviously making shit tons of money, and the short trade ends on that day. Now that doesn't mean we take the full hit, but that's when the day that the trade comes off. So it's a little counterintuitive. Our actual process is significantly better than this, but the point remains we are catching a lot of the large moves. So I have to believe for my model that a portion of the reason why it does so well is we are in the right trades at the right time. So going in the proper direction. And given the basis of the idea that my models are based on, that would ring true. And that's why I wanted to do this experiment. I wanted to see how true it would ring. Now, if I adjusted these, so let's not call it a miss, if we're just exiting a profitable trade, I think you would see this number going way, way, way up. Sorry, I got lazy. I wanted to see it, but this is enough work for one day. So for those of you left still standing, I hope this maybe has whet your appetite when you're thinking about building your own trading model. And in a future video to come, hopefully in the not too distant future, I'm going to walk down that road with you and just give you ideas of what to look out for so you don't delude yourself with the sea of indicators. This is what it's going to come down to. So I'm going to give you a quick little peek into the next video. Is the problem with most people, I had started this video suggesting that people have a great ability to build bad models. And part of that is because of the sea of indicators at your disposal. So, we're talking RSI, moving averages, stochastics, MACD, Bollinger Bands, trend lines, heaven forbid Elliott wave, the unfalsifiable indicator. By the way, that means just walk away from it. you grab your favorite little toy and you hang on to it, and you're lost from that point on. You're never going to walk away from it because you've got your entire personality invested in this thing. And once you believe it, there's no amount of data, facts that are going to make you walk away from that, because you're emotionally invested, because most people are just far too mentally and emotionally weak to do a good job at trading. And this is where Mike Norman, I told you, he's just mentally weak beyond reproach, not willing to test his data, not willing to actually trade his data. And the kicker, not willing to take off a losing trade because it's too damaging to his psyche and his mental, his mental state. And that is clear evidence of a weak-minded individual. And if you're looking in the mirror and seeing reflections of that, well, yes, of course it's true, because that's most people. So you want to get better at this? Become a good loser. I wouldn't say be happy about it and jump up and down and be joyful every time you lose, because you're going to be doing a lot of losing, but you have to be good at it, and you have to be able to slough it off. It's not something that weak-minded Mike Norman can do. And as far as Two-Tick Nick, he's too caught up in, again, his own persona. Look at me, the successful trader, when clearly the facts are he certainly is not, and he just repeats the same mistakes. So you're going to get a peek at definitely how to protect yourself against such nonsense, because if you do this too long, you become the nonsense, and there may be no way out of that cult mentality. All right, we'll talk to you soon.